Hi all, and welcome back to another economics video lecture. And this particular lecture is just the continuation of chapter number 3A. Okay, I hope that in today's class we wind up this chapter. The last part of the chapter that we are going to do, very important, and I'm going to first explain you and then tell you what type of a question can be asked on this particular topic. Okay, so I'm on the same HSC textbook, Economics Maharashtra Board textbook, page number 23. Okay, on page number 23 and 24, two important things are given to you, which I will just write on the board. The two things given to you are, it's given in pink color highlight, variation in demand, okay, and change in demand. Okay, what is variation in demand and what is change in demand? In each of these there are two types. When you come to variation, you have expansion in demand, and another thing that you have is contraction in demand. When you come to the other section, that is the change in demand, again you have two types. The first one is increase in demand, and the next one is decrease in demand. Alright, two things given on page number 23 and 24, has two types each. Expansion, it is also known as extension, expansion in demand, contraction in demand, increase in demand, decrease in demand. Now when you have a look at all these words, they are somewhere connected. Okay, all of you, when you go to see the literal meanings of these words, let us go one by one. Variation and change. When you look at these two words, somewhere you will find that these two words are similar. What do you mean by variation? Variation means जब कहीं पर बदलाव आ रहा है, when certain thing is changing, where there is किसी चीज़ में अगर बदलाव आता है, जब कोई चीज़ same नहीं रहती, that is known as variation. Same is the case with change. Change, everybody knows a very simple English word. Change means kabhi badlav aa raha hai, when the thing is not remaining the same. So when you go to see variation in demand and change in demand, both mean the same. यहाँ भी demand बदल रहा है और यहाँ भी demand बदल रहा है. Now then, what is the difference between the two? Even here the demand is changing, even here the demand is changing, but the reasons for the change are not the same. Here the demand is changing because of price. Alright, I hope you remember determinants of demand, where we had studied certain factors that are causing change in demand. I had told you the first factor was price. Apart from price, the other factors bring about a change in demand. Okay, I hope you are understanding. यहाँ पर जो डिमांड बदल रहा है वो प्राइस के बदलने की वजह से बदल रहा है, और यहाँ पर जो डिमांड बदल रहा है वो अदर फैक्टर्स की वजह से बदल रहा है. द अदर फैक्टर्स कुड बी एनीथिंग, योर इनकम, it could be the government taxation policies, it could be the change in population. So here also the demand is changing, but the reason is the other factors, and here the reason is the price. Okay, I hope I am clear. The first one, expansion. Expansion means when something is increasing. Here increase means when something is rising. Same words, okay, similar words, same meaning, but the difference is यहाँ पर डिमांड बढ़ रहा है. क्यों बढ़ रहा है? क्योंकि प्राइस घट रहा है. As we have studied in the law of demand given by Alfred Marshall. When will demand increase? When the price is falling, that time the demand is going to increase. So here the other factors are going to remain constant. There will not be any change. Other factors are constant. What is changing? Only price is changing. Okay, only the price is changing and the other factors are constant. When the price is falling, the demand is going to expand. Now let us come here. Increase in demand. Here there is an increase in demand because of other factors. This other factors could be a good change in the income. Okay, if your income, let us say example income, when your income is rising, automatically your demand is going to rise. So there is a favorable condition in other factors which is bringing about an increase in demand. So your price remains constant. Price is constant. What is changing? Other factors are changing. Alright, so what is the difference between the two? Expansion is also showing you the same thing, that demand is rising. But why demand is rising? Because price is falling. Here also demand is rising. But why demand is rising? Because of the other factors, for example, income. Now let us come to contraction. Contraction is just the opposite of expansion. Contraction is something where a thing is reducing, घट रही है. Okay, contraction in demand. Demand कब घटेगा? Demand कब कम होगा? जब आपका price बढ़ेगा. When the price is rising, the demand will automatically contract, as said by Alfred Marshall. So even here, other factors are remaining constant. What is changing? Only the price is changing. Price is rising. That is why demand is contracting. Let us come here. Decrease in demand. Same thing. यहाँ भी आपका demand कम हो रहा है. It is reducing. But why it is reducing? क्योंकि other factors, let us for example take income. Other factors are changing. शायद यहाँ पे आपकी income हो गई कम, इसीलिए आपका demand भी हो गया कम. यहाँ पर other factors are causing change. The other factors are going through unfavorable conditions, and that is why here the demand is falling. So if you go to see, the meanings are the same. Here prices, here demand is rising, here also it is rising. Here it is falling, here also it is falling. But the basic difference is the reason behind the fall and rise in the demand. In variation, the reason is price, and in change, the reason is other factors. Now let us see the diagrams of these one by one. The extension and the contraction diagram we'll do first. Okay, page number 23 and 24. Expansion and demand. When you're showing expansion and demand, you first have to name it. Okay, you never leave your diagrams without any name. All of us have names, so naturally all the curves in the diagram should have their names, right? Our parents didn't leave us nameless. So here first you are going to name the diagram, then you are going to make the x-axis and the y-axis and the point of origin, right? Here you are showing price, here you are showing quantity demanded. Now let us for example take original price was OP, right? OP was the original price and OQ was the original quantity. Now what happened? Price fell. OP and OQ, this was your original demand curve, okay, where the price was OP and your demand was OQ. Because price fell, there was a new price, that is P1. Because there was a new price, because the price fell, automatically the quantity increased and it became Q1. Now when you see here, the price has fallen but the quantity has increased. Now this the new point. Okay, so this is your demand curve, which is showing there is an expansion in demand. The demand was so little, OQ was the demand, but because price fell and it came to P1, the demand is increasing and it came to Q1. So here the demand has expanded. Okay, this shows, this points show the expansion of demand or expansion in demand. Alright, now come to contraction. Okay, this particular, you are going to name the diagram. Again, you are going to make the x-axis, the y-axis and the point of origin. Here you are plotting the price. Here you are plotting the quantity demanded. Right, now let us take this OP was the original price. Let us take this OP is the original price. Because the price is low, obviously the quantity that is demanded will be high. Okay, this is my original price and this is my original quantity. Now for example, यहाँ पे हमने दिखाया extension in demand, यहाँ पे हमें contraction दिखाना है. Contraction कब होगा? जब आपका price rise होगा. Okay, here you are going to show a rise in price. When the price is rising from P to P2, automatically the quantity will reduce, it will contract and come to Q2. Alright, so here the quantity is contracting, it is reducing, and here you have your DD curve. So when price rises, the quantity contracts, the quantity is reduced, the demand is reduced, and so this particular movement of the arrow coming behind, Q becoming Q2, is showing contraction. Contraction of demand or contraction in demand. Okay, I hope that is clear. Now let us move to increase and decrease. The same thing, you are again going to name the diagram. Okay, after naming the diagram, you are going to make your x-axis, y-axis, and please, in the exam, while making the diagrams, please be very careful, be neat in your work. Okay, increase and decrease, again you are going to make your y-axis, your x-axis, the point of origin. Here you are plotting price. Okay, here you are plotting quantity demanded. A very important thing, increase in demand. Here, because price is constant, price is not changing, OP will remain as it is. OP is not going to change. When price was OP, that time quantity demanded was OQ. When price was OP, the quantity demanded was OQ, and this was your demand curve. Okay, but your income changed. मान लीजिए आपकी सैलरी बढ़ गई, your income changed, so your demand increased and it became Q2. Right, from Q it became Q2, but mind you, only your demand has increased, only your demand has changed because of other factors. Price still remains the same. That is why your demand curve has shifted outwards, it has shifted to right hand side. This is showing increase in demand. Alright, because your demand has increased but price remains the same. We have written here, price remains constant, only other factors are bringing about a change in demand, that is increase. The opposite of it, when you are showing decrease in demand, x-axis again, y-axis, here you are showing price and here you are showing the quantity demanded. Here also you are going to mention that price remains same, price remains constant. That is why price was OP and it will remain OP only. When price was OP, quantity demanded was OQ, but there were certain factors that changed. Okay, this was your original demand curve at OP price and OQ quantity, but certain changes happened in your income fell, or any other factors that is bringing about a change, so demand also fell. This Q will become Q2, okay, but the price will still remain the same, so this becomes your another demand curve, DD2. Okay, here we forgot to mention, because this is Q2, this will be DD2. Okay, this is your new demand curve, this is your original demand curve. The original demand curve was outside, but now it has moved inside because the quantity has reduced. Why the quantity has reduced? Because some change in the other factors, for example income. So here you are showing your decrease in demand. So I hope I am clear the difference between the two. Here your demand is changing because of price, where the other factors remain constant, and here your demand is changing because of other factors and price remains constant. So one important type of a question that they can ask you in the exam is distinguish between. Okay, they might ask you distinguish between increase in demand and expansion in demand. So you should be able to write that expansion is happening because of the fall in the price, and increase is happening because of a favorable change in the income or any other factors. Okay, they might ask you distinguish between contraction and decrease. So you should write contraction is happening because of price alone when price is rising, and here you should be able to write that price is constant, there are some unfavorable changes in other factors, for example income. Then you will make the diagrams. If they're asking you contraction and decrease, first their definition, their reasons, and then their diagrams. Or they can ask you a simple question for 4 marks, a direct question, what is variation in demand? So first you will explain that variation happens because of price, and then you will explain both their types with the diagrams. Alright, or they could ask you this question, change in demand. So again here also you're going to explain what is change in demand. It is happening because of other factors, and the types with the diagrams. Okay, so I hope you have understood, and please, if yes, if you like my teaching, please give it a thumbs up, and do subscribe to my channel, and do leave your comments, because they are a big motivation for all of us. Okay, so with this we have completed our chapter number 3A. See you again in the next lecture. Thank you.